Wait, let's watch this video. Yamato on LEC scheduling and its influence on international events. Okay.
LEC, the slowest format globally. Kind of silly that we have to wait.
Bro, look at the vibes in the back.
Everything in accordance to EMA Masters, because they are rushing things, you know. They are rushing. I don't know what the scheduling was for, but it is what it is. I worry for the future of LEC, because the LEC is insanely fortunate that Asian Games is on, and that's why the only reason why teams will actually have time to practice. Without Asian Games, I think the scheduling is absolutely atrocious. Absolutely
jamming,
atrocious.
bro.
It was the same last year, even though the format was different, the issues were very, very similar and very, very the same, you know? If I take myself back to our Worlds run. So basically, 9/11, right? September 11th, we were done.
Unfortunate.
And then 12th of September, we were done, right? Because we have to fly one day and travel one day. And basically, we are in a position where
they had to play the 25th, I think, by the way.
Just play the gauntlet, so we need to take a couple of days off, and obviously Fnatic needs to we need to do content, because naturally it's like we're qualified to the World Championship, we need to do the jersey content, we need to do the advertisement, because in the end that's what pays the bills, right? It's like we need to pay the bills. So 3 days of content, 3 days for rest, and that leaves us with very limited scrim days, because keep in mind, we have no one to practice against because we can't boot camp. The only team we could scrim against in Europe was the Turkish team. And then the only days, we had 2 days of potential scrims against G2 Mad Lions, because they took some time off because they started in the main event, right? In the end, we managed to get COVID. We arrived to the event. We lose days.
Mad didn't start in the main event, right? Mad started in because Mad lost the EG.
Days because of media.
He probably means Rogue.
Because of enemy team not having appropriate COVID tests. We lost so many days, we barely practiced the whole fucking tournament. So basically, play-ins, if I remember correctly, let's just check the date of when play-ins started.
I felt like it was like the 25th or something.
This is the wrong, we have to press 2022 season. Let's check when play-ins started. I think it was 28th.
He's talking about
September.
2021?
Let's check it out.
No, he's talking about last year.
Play-ins started... Play-ins.
He's literally on the 2022 wiki.
So it's 29th.
Okay, 29th, yeah.
And then let me just double check the date. Let me just double check the date of LEC finals. So, as I said, 9/11, right? 11th September. It was insanely tight, man. It was insanely tight. If it wasn't for Asian Games, they would be exactly in the same position, the European teams. And I hope it's like, if I join LEC next year, I'm going to make a ruckus about this. I think all of the teams need to unite, because it's like being able to boot camp is a huge boost of performance. Because you are all of a sudden you get to be in tune with the teams that are ahead of you in a very different way, you know? It's like that 1 week where you get completely fisted and shafted by the Asian teams is so important for your growth. So important. So I hope this gets addressed.
You heard the man. Hey, guys, if you don't feel like you're growing enough, just get fisted and shafted. That's what you need. That's what really that's the catalyst for growth right there.
But luckily this time around, right? Asian Games and then October 10th, it's like most teams will have 4 weeks, 5 weeks of preparation. And that's huge. Really, really big, you know? I think that's massive, you know? I think that's going to be super helpful, you know? G2 being able to boot camp, any of the teams being able to boot camp is going to be super beneficial. Because Korea is just that you will always find practice partners. There's always going to be teams that are busy. Solo queue is, you know, solo queue there has its own issues, but it also has its benefits, you know? Just the scrim practice is fucking wonderful there, man. And it's really, really beneficial to all of the teams that are going.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, the schedule just feels...
we just played...
The schedule feels very fucking weird. Like, especially just... Imagine if you're playing in this, right? And you're G2 and Mad. You have 3 weeks off, play one best of 5. Then you have 2 weeks off to play another best of 5. Like, it seems so weird. There's like... The pacing is so slow, and also people have just stopped caring. Like, the viewership is way lower than expected. And like everything else has been wrapped. Like everything else was done a week ago. And we've still got like, what, 2 more weeks after this for it to be finished? It's a little crazy, bro. I think the schedule is just, yeah, I mean, it just needs fixing. It simply needs fixing. I don't understand how they didn't realize it was going to be an issue before. And I understand that they want to always match up LEC with EMEA Masters so that they can throw one event and have like everything at the same place. But it's just not worth it, bro. Sacrificing LEC for EMEA Masters is like crazy. It doesn't make any sense. You're actually just harming the region's performance or potential performance at Worlds for no reason. Sucks to be a test region for the 3-split change, but it's not even about like the 3-split change because there's just a bunch of dead time that they always have during all this. That's all it is. It's just there's so much dead time. It's not like, oh, we're doing 3 splits, so that's why we need to do it. It's essentially the same. If you think about the 3-split situation, right? They're doing 3 splits, which are 6 weeks each. So that's 18 weeks that you have on in your season, which is pretty much the same as the 9 and 9. You know, like because you have, I mean, if you go through LCS, I think you end up with something like, you end up with something like 22 or 23 weeks overall because you have like the 8 weeks with the super week and then you have like 3 weeks for playoffs or maybe like 2 weeks and then 4 weeks, whatever. You end up with roughly like 22 to 24 weeks, and that's the same as LEC. It's just that there's so many more breaks in LEC. Like there wasn't a break between when LCS finished their regular season and when playoffs started. There was no break. It was just the next week playoff starts and people just start competing. And the breaks are like, if you don't take the 3-week break, then maybe you end up 1 week behind. It's just not a big issue. They're making it more of an issue because they insist on these long breaks that people don't really want. Like if people want to take a break, the break should be after summer playoffs for like a week before you go to Worlds. Just get this shit wrapped up.